What's up everyone, it's Colin from GIY Guy here. I'm so excited to welcome you to my gardening and DIY channel. This is actually the first channel I've ever made on YouTube, and so I'm going to be trying to crank out that consistent content for you every week. Just a quick 3-second intro on me. I'm an electrical engineer from Greensboro, North Carolina. I love gardening and I love saving money. Right now I use engineering as a way to fund all my projects and everything, you know how it is. But really someday I would love to transition full-time into gardening and even start a blackberry farm. I have plans for that to start in a few years or so. Right now I actually bought a few plants just as a trial run for the next couple years. Built the trellis and everything. I think it's going to be super fun to try that out, and I'll document the whole thing for you guys to watch. On this channel I want to cover everything related to gardening and DIY. One of the first things I'll cover is soil management, how to build a good fertile bed without all the quick fixes, all the quick fix fertilizers that are in the big box stores. How can we build a bed that's going to sustain itself and be healthy over the long run? Also, I want to go over some winterization techniques. You know, it's starting to get cold outside. It's probably about 65 here right now. It got to 45 last night, so you know it's about time to take all the outdoor plants inside so they don't die. But I want to talk about some tips and tricks on how to prepare for winter and how to put yourself in a good position for the spring growing season. And then also I want to talk about some seasonal growing strategies. Like the best way to improve your garden output is to extend your growing season. And so we're going to talk about things like how do you time your planting and what do you plant at different times of the year to really maximize that growing season. And then finally, probably my favorite part, or one of my favorite parts, is the DIY. I plan on talking about how to make a raised garden bed. You know, there's some really cool ideas out there. I've seen them on Self-Sufficient Me and James Prigione's channel. Really good ideas in there. You should go check them out. And then also building a garden trellis. Right now I have one built for my blackberry plants that I'll plant this spring. But I also want to build one for the green beans and the cucumbers and all the stuff that grows up. I want to grow it up instead of out so it doesn't take over my whole garden. And then finally, maybe even build some planters. You know, I think it's really cool. It'd be really cool to have it on the front porch or something where you can grow onions and garlic and all the little stuff that's kind of fun to watch. So 3 things I really love about gardening. The first is being outside in nature. I know that sounds cliche, but it's so true. There is a reason that they make phone apps and sleep apps designed around nature sounds, and it's just because they're relaxing. So what better way to get that relaxation than to be outside in the garden yourself? The second thing is I love knowing where my food comes from. Right now, I'm a huge proponent of Aldi. Like, hook me up with that sponsorship because I am word of mouth to everyone about Aldi. They have great produce and veggie prices. But one thing that kind of makes me wonder is how they get their prices so low. Like, how do they grow it? What do they put in it? Where does it come from? You know, those sorts of things. And it reminds me of something someone once told me about skydiving. Like, if you go skydiving, you want a good deal, but you don't want a great deal, right? You want it to be like, oh, I'm going to jump out of an airplane, I'm going to pay a fair price, instead of, I'm going to go up there 10,000 feet, jump out, and pay $50 for it. You know, that just seems really sketchy. So I just love knowing what's in my food. And finally, it's cheap. Gardening is something you can put the sweat equity into. It takes very little money down. You can start with like $10. Go into Lowe's or Home Depot, buy 3 packs of seeds and a little shovel or something, or just buy 5 packs of seeds and forget the shovel, you know, I don't care. And then you can just come back and dig a hole in your yard and plant the seeds. And before you know it, you're going to see those little sprouts. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I planted that. That's awesome. And then you're going to be like going off the crazy end, like harvesting your rainwater and getting solar panels on your house and all the self-sufficient stuff. And then you're going to be like, oh, I need to move to Montana and get off grid and everything. And you're going to be like full-blown doomsday. And that's what gets us into the main topic of this channel, which is doomsday prepping. No, I'm just kidding. For real though, on this channel, I am so excited to share my gardening and DIY journey. I hope it's as fun to watch as it is to do. My garden is a baby garden. We just bought this house in February of this year. And so my garden is literally in my front yard between my mailbox and my driveway. And so I've got a lot of work to do. I would love to not even have grass. Maybe I'll just make my whole garden, or make my whole yard garden, you know. I watched a video of a couple that actually did that with wildflowers. Their entire backyard was grass, and they were like, you know, we don't like taking care of this, and we don't get any enjoyment out of it because we don't have kids or animals. And so they just planted wildflowers. It took a couple years, but it was beautiful. And so maybe I'll do that with veggies or something, I don't know. Anyway, so if all this gardening DIY stuff sounds good to you, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe button. Like I said, I'm going to try to release a new video every week on one of the topics that I mentioned before. Or any topic you throw in the chat, any topic I think of. I actually brainstormed a whole list of stuff, so I think I have enough content for like 15 or 20 videos right now. And that was just off the top of my head. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I also can't wait to hear about your projects as well. You know, if you've got a sick new raised garden bed idea that you maybe don't have the time or the resources to build, shoot it my way. I would love to build it, shoot a video on it, maybe do a live stream or something as I build it. That would just be a really cool experience to walk through together. Now, it is beautiful where I am. I could talk about gardening all day, but unfortunately you can't garden from a screen, you know, unless you play like Farmville or Animal Farm or something. So that said, go grab your shovel, go grab your seeds, prepare your garden, and grow it yourself.